grade 6ers, welcome to my Zone Online School. I am Ms. Beulah Aces and my friend here, Clarice. Let us remember to sanitize our hands. Wrapping your palms between your fingers. Keep your distance. Clarice, please. 1.5 meters. And wear a mask at all times. Wear a mask. Today's lesson is the human body, diseases of the breathing system. Okay, let us grab our booklets. Grab a pencil or pen that you can work with, that you can write on with, and open your booklet on page 20. Diseases of the breathing system. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to list common diseases of the breathing system, and you must be able to mention how those diseases can be prevented. The vocabulary for this lesson, COVID-19. COVID-19 is a mild to severe infectious respiratory illness caused by a coronavirus. Bronchitis. Bronchitis is an inflammation, a swelling. Inflammation means swelling of the mucous membranes in the bronchi. The bronchi are the tubes that we find in our lungs. Then the common diseases of the breathing system we will be focusing on: coughing and sneezing, colds, asthma, tuberculosis, bronchitis, coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. Let us all turn to page 21. The common diseases of the breathing system, our breathing system, the respiratory system, any disease that can affect your lungs, any disease that will affect your nose, your throat, those are the diseases of the breathing system. So the very first one there is colds and coughs. Colds and coughs, as the name already says, if you are coughing a lot or you have a flu, a running nose, you are sneezing, that is colds and coughs. How can you prevent it? Wash your hands with soap and running water. Every time that you have sneezed, you should wash your hands. Cover your mouth with a tissue and dispose of the tissue immediately. Every time you have used a tissue, do not keep it to use it again. Throw it away immediately. Keep warm to prevent getting sick, especially now that it's winter. This is the time that we will be experiencing a lot of flu. So keep warm, and at night, wear a jersey, keep warm. Drink a lot of fluids, especially hot drinks. Fluids, it will help to keep your respiratory system active. So drink water, drink hot coffee, just drink a lot of hot drinks. Avoid contact with sick people. If you see that your little brother is sick, your elder brother is sick, avoid contact with them. Do not sit next to those people. Otherwise, you can also be infected. And if you are sick, avoid contact with other people. Rather stay on your own or sleep. And the very last one, very important, get vaccinated. This is the time when you can go to the clinics and then you can get a vaccine against flu. Before you get the flu, you are already vaccinated against it. Okay, the second one is asthma. Asthma is a well-known disease. Most of the people suffer from asthma. It affects our respiratory system. You will find difficulty in breathing when you have asthma. To avoid asthma, identify asthma triggers and avoid them. Asthma triggers are the ones that can cause you to Some people are allergic to dogs, some people are allergic to meds, some people are allergic to plants, and this can be your asthma triggers, because if you are exposed to them, you will find it difficult to breathe. So rather avoid the asthma triggers. Stay away from allergens, all of the ones that you are allergic to. Take your medication. Asthmatic people are given an asthma pump. Asthmatic people are given tablets to drink. So take your medication in order to avoid any asthma attack. Avoid smoke of any kind. Smoke of any kind, whether it's first-hand or second-hand smoking. Don't sit next to people that are smoking. Do not sit around fires. Avoid smoke, whether it's from the car, exhaust fumes, wherever. Avoid smoke of any kind. And the very last one is to prevent colds, the first disease that we mentioned. Prevent colds, because if you have a cold or flu, this is also the way that asthma attacks can start. Okay. The third disease, bronchitis. Bronchitis also affects our lungs. So don't smoke. That is the very first way to avoid bronchitis. Don't smoke. Don't smoke is not just for people that are smoking cigarette. It's also for the people sitting around the others that are smoking, being exposed to a lot of smoke at the fire as well. Avoid all of that. If you catch a cold, get plenty of rest. Bronchitis will make you feel tired. So it is better if you have plenty of rest, take your fluids, take your medication, and sleep. That way you can recover much more faster. Eat a healthy diet. Our fruits and veggies. Most of you people are not eating those green things in your plate. You need to eat a lot of fruits and veggies. And the very last one, wash your hands often, because you don't know who has sneezed on a surface that has bronchitis and you have touched it. So rather, wash your hands often. Okay. Number 4, tuberculosis, also known as TB. TB is also wildly spread in Namibia. A lot of people are infected with TB, but TB has treatment. It has treatment. There is no need to be scared if you have TB and you stay home and you don't want to complete your medication. You need to continuously be at the hospital, and that is the only way that you can recover from tuberculosis. Take all your medicine as they are prescribed. Some people will be put on medication for 6 months period, maybe stay at home. Some people might be admitted. Take your medication as prescribed to you. Keep all your doctor's appointments, very, very important, because every time that you come to the hospital, the doctor has to keep checking how far along are you. Are you taking your medication as prescribed? Are you recovering? Is there any change? Do you need to be given other medicine or what? So you need to keep going to the doctor. And the very last one, wash your hands regularly. We can see that washing your hands is mentioned at all of these diseases. It's a clear indication of how important this is. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands with soap and running water. And the very last disease we will be focusing on today is COVID-19, also known as coronavirus. This is something new that we have all just been exposed with currently. So COVID-19 affects your respiratory system. COVID-19 is not about I'm young and I'm old. COVID-19 is not about your immune system and whatever. Yes, your immune system does play a very important role, because if you have a stronger immune system, you will recover much more faster. But it is better always, prevention is better than cure. So let us look at how to prevent COVID-19. 1, Wash your hands with soap and water. It should be running water, not just water in a bucket. So everyone is coming at home washing their hands in the same bucket. That is not right. It should be washing your hands with running water. Maintain social distancing, 1 meter. Now that a lot of people are exposed to COVID-19, it is better to keep 1.5 meters. Maintain your social distancing. COVID-19 is spread through the saliva, so you don't know, as the person is standing there next to you talking, saliva might have fall on a surface, and then you touch that surface, you forget to wash your hands, you touch your face. So through your nose, through your mouth, through your eyes, those droplets could enter and you can be exposed to COVID-19. So maintain your social distancing. Wear a mask, very, very important. Your mask should cover your nose and your mouth. Some masks are only covering the mouth. It is not right. Your mask has to cover your nose. Your eyes are already exposed. So at least wear a mask to cover your nose and mouth. Wear a mask to protect yourself. Wear a mask to protect the person next to you. Wear a mask. Your mask should not be loose and hanging. It should be fitted tightly onto you. So do not buy a small mask or do not buy a big mask. Don't touch your eyes or your nose or your mouth. That is very, very difficult, especially for you grade 6s. You like to scratch everywhere. But during this time, don't touch your eyes, your nose, or your mouth. Do not touch. Stay home. If you feel sick, stay at home. Isolate yourself. Stay at home. These symptoms of COVID-19 are the same symptoms that you will experience when you have a cough or a cold. So you are never really sure what the sickness will be. So rather isolate yourself until you are sure that this that I'm having is just an ordinary cold or it's just a normal cough. So rather isolate. If you feel unwell, stay at home, stay in bed, drink your fluids, stay at home. If you have a fever or a cough, difficulty in breathing, these are some of the signs that you will be experiencing. A fever, meaning that you are very hot, you are sweating. If you have a fever, or you have a cough, continuous, you can't just cough for one day and want to be tested tomorrow. If your cough is continuous and you have difficulty in breathing, some of the people that have asthma will experience this a lot. So sometimes you're not sure if it's an asthma attack or if it is COVID-19, but it is better to be tested. Seek medical attention. Call in advance. So instead of going to the hospital to go sit in line while you do not know what you are exposed to, it is better to just call a doctor and go there. Or you can call the COVID hotline number and then they will assist you. Follow the directions that you will be given, meaning that if they tell you to stay at home, drink this medicine, take what, you need to follow those directions, and that is the only way that you will recover quickly. COVID-19 is unknown. We do not know much about it. All that we know is that if you are infected with it, your respiratory system is at risk. You are in grade 6, meaning that you are still very young, so you have to protect yourself. Stay at home, stop playing in the streets, soccer and whatever things you are playing, social distance, and wear a mask if you need to go to the shops. Okay, let us look at the activity on page 22. Only 2 questions have been given there for self-assessment, and you need to answer those questions there. Do not pick going to look at the answers. We will find out which people are looking at the answers there at the back. Number 1, list 4 common diseases of the breathing system. Any 4 diseases of the breathing system. Number 2, describe how the above mentioned common diseases can be prevented. What can you do to prevent? What can you do to protect yourself against getting those diseases? Remember that prevention is better than cure. Okay, so that is the end of today's lesson. Diseases of the breathing system, very, very important. Protect yourself. There are lots of diseases that you can get, but if you protect yourself, you will not get any of those diseases. Stay home, eat healthy, wash your hands, wear a mask, stay home. Remember to sanitize between your fingers, your palms. Sanitize for 20 seconds. Wear a mask at all times. If you're going to visit at your auntie's house, if you're going to the shop, wear a mask. And remember, if you go out in public, keep your social distancing. 1 meter apart. Social distancing. That is all from us today. Bye.
I'm back, and if you are scared of what you read on social media, talk to your parents and ask them the questions. They'll know everything. Until next time, bye!
COVID-19 affects people very differently. Many people show no symptoms at all, but some are hospitalized for weeks. So what does the disease do to your body? The coronavirus enters through the mouth, nose or eyes. It then usually attaches itself to cells lining the nose, throat, airways or lungs. It can turn these cells into factories that multiply and spread the virus. For the majority, a fever, cough and breathlessness are as bad as it gets. But the virus can damage the small blood vessels lining the lungs and initiate clotting. The alveoli are tiny air sacs where oxygen goes into the blood. If they become inflamed, it can trigger pneumonia. Seriously ill patients need to be given oxygen as the lungs fill with fluid and debris.
I legit couldn't breathe. My oximeter was measuring under 88% oxygen levels, which is very dangerous. And the only time I ever thought my life was in danger was at that point.
COVID-19 doesn't just affect the lungs. It can also disrupt the immune system, which is used by the body to fight illnesses. Cytokines are part of the immune system that find and signal infections. For some people with severe COVID-19, this system can go into overdrive. If too many cytokines build up, it can cause an overreaction that damages healthy cells. This is called a cytokine storm for the most severe cases. COVID-19 can lead to seizures or even a coma. It can also cause brain problems that lead to strokes. The immune system overreacting can cause clots that stop the blood supply to parts of the brain. Brain inflammation, psychosis and dementia-like symptoms can also affect seriously ill patients. The average length of the illness is 14 days, but many people have symptoms for much longer. Breathing problems and post-viral fatigue last for months in some cases.
I cannot walk for long simply because I will feel a little bit short of breath and I feel the need to sit down. And that's something that has never happened to me before.
Some of the people who are most likely to develop severe symptoms are older adults and those with underlying health conditions. It's not fully known how anyone will react to COVID-19 until they get it. So it's important for everyone to follow health guidance. What precautions are you taking to stay safe?
This fishing community on Mozambique's northern coast has been hit hard. People here are suffering from high rates of malnutrition, but that's not all. The greatest concern is the high rates of HIV infection and AIDS, the main cause of death in adults and young people across Mozambique. Poor nutrition makes it even more difficult for people to fight the disease. 21-year-old Elima Artur is the daughter of one of these fishermen. A few years ago, she suddenly started suffering from an unknown illness.
Me encontrei desesperada, totalmente triste. Minha vida só era chorar. Pensei que eu já estava a ir já.
All this changed the day Elima met Arlek Anna Abel from a project called Chapani. With support from IFAD, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and the Belgian Fund for Food Security, staff from Chapani work with villagers to combat the dual threats of HIV and malnutrition. When Elima tested positive for HIV and AIDS, Arlette encouraged her to form a support group. Elima chose her father and aunt, who helped her to stay optimistic and healthy. In fact, teaching people to eat well is an important part of Arlette's work.
Eu ensinei elas para que pudesse enriquecer os alimentos para ela poder as hemoglobinas não baixarem. Então, já se alimenta agora de verduras, não só do peixe.
As part of the Chapani project, cooking demonstrations are held for everyone in the community. The session today features the highly nutritious moringa plant, a fast-growing, drought-resistant tree unknown to many locally. Now it has become a popular item in the local cuisine. Maria Machambi, who is not HIV positive, is learning to create her own garden with more than 6,000 other families in the area. The idea is spreading quickly throughout the community, with locally trained volunteers now leading the process.
They share their ideas with their neighbors and everyone gets excited. For us, that is key. Once communities own the process and they don't need an external person to tell them how to cook food, how to prepare it, they do it within themselves.
The success of the project has motivated IFAD to expand nutrition education across the nation over the next 3 years. Meanwhile, Elima is playing a key role in spreading the word about healthy living. Through songs, she informs people about safeguarding against HIV and AIDS, adopting healthy eating habits, and learning to cope with the disease.
Vê lá, me repara só. Sabe, uma pessoa pode me ver, não saber que eu tenho esse tipo de problema. Hã? Estou bem, hein? Viste?
And with more than 10% of Mozambique's adult population infected with HIV, this message has never been more pertinent. This report was produced by Jonathan Elliott for the United Nations.
Win free airtime with One Africa TV. Share your comments on the channel. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
Akili, 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 akili. When you sick, you cough, cough, cough. And if you achoo or cough on your hands, the germs stay alive on your hands and get passed on to your friends, and they'll get sick too. Let's chase the germs away. Let's chase the germs away by keeping our hands clean. And when you want to sneeze or when you want to cough, do it in your elbow. Germs, 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 they make us sick. Germs, germs, germs are not our friends. Germs, 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 they make us sick. Germs, 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 germs are not your friends.
Kind class, kind sis, kind I, Namibia ice. Did I get sister Hulda Navasida? Did I get I ho out? Namibia oncology center, Naragrasisen, I come from na. Ti Quido, bounce I hari, Omsnahari, Oma Badang Nahure, Nugu said again ha ugu, Habe I get off Nugu said aga ha ugu habe. Hang are ugu ha. Hoge bounce I hari. Ida tadi nedi 2019 novel coronavirus sting higusa. Au bounce I hari.
Good day and welcome to What We Men Get to Talk About. My name is Adriano Fisachi. Today's program, well, I'm not joined by men, however, by a panel of ladies. And I might be rolling down my window and just screaming. That might make certain women feel good, boost their confidence. But for some, they're just going to go like, but hey, why are you screaming at me or why are you shouting at me? I don't need your comment on how beautiful I look.
No, I feel great. No, it makes me feel awful.
Yeah.
Because you are expressing power over me, actually. You are expressing power over me.
Yeah.
If you walk up to another, like if you walk